Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Giusi and I am a holistic practitioner and talk about lots of topics that have to do with healing, subconscious programming, and etc. etc. Although I've been sharing a lot about my experience with autism as I've been learning and stuff. So thank you for being here and joining me on my journey. I'm having some jasmine tea. I love jasmine tea. It's so soothing. My favorite part of when I go to a Chinese restaurant is when they give me my jasmine tea. Like I usually order it extra if sometimes they give it to you. There's something so incredibly soothing and relaxing about jasmine tea that oh my gosh. Anyways, thank you for being here. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. I would appreciate it. When I'm recording this video, I'm 3 away from 500, which is amazing. So thanks everyone. I'm sorry. I'm not apologizing if I look like shit. I don't really care. I'm tired. I'm exhausted. It's a long day. As I've mentioned in my other videos, I work. Oh my gosh. Halo hears me recording here and he comes and tries to knock everything off here right away. Halo, can you not do that? He's such a little. Come on, please don't. Oh my gosh. Anyways, I was very excited on a side note before I start talking about my video topic. I was very excited today because I booked 4 surgeries in the operating room. And it was my first time doing it on my own. So I was incredibly excited about that because it was probably one of the biggest anxiety producing things for myself when I started. And I haven't done it yet on my own. I've had people try to show me and I just felt really nervous and anxious about it because I felt oh my gosh, I don't want to screw this up and screw up someone's surgery because I did it wrong. But no, I think it went well, I hope. And I did it for myself today, so I'm very excited about that. So yes. Okay, so since it's World Penguin Day, but you can tell I'm really tired. So when I get tired, my left eye gets more small and scrunchy. Whatever you want to call it. It's smaller and than the other one. So I apologize. I'm not apologizing. I'm just really tired. But I want to talk about I made a post about World Penguin Day. Today is World Penguin Day, by the way. And so I'm just making a video. That's going to be my topic today. This is going to be posted tomorrow on Saturday. So it is not World Penguin Day tomorrow on the 26th. Or today when this is being posted, but on the 25th, it was World Penguin Day. And so I absolutely love penguins and my fascination with, okay, first of all, they're so freaking cute because of the way they waddle and they're just so unique. And anyways, so my first fascination with penguins and associating them with love and stuff like that is from Drew Barrymore's Never Been Kissed movie. And she talks about the Adelie penguins. And she goes, when they find their mate, they mate forever. And I love that movie because Drew Barrymore was one of my first special interests. So much so that I at the time, because I was studying computer programming and stuff like that, I taught myself. This was a long time ago. So I taught myself HTML and I created my own website and programmed it all in HTML. I made a Drew Barrymore fan site. That's how much of a nerd I was and how much I love Drew Barrymore. And it was basically had a little biography about her, and it also had an entire extensive catalog of her photos, and it was just divided in different sections and stuff and it was just so insane. And yeah, and I used to dress like her. I went to Catholic school, so I had a kilt and I cut my hair short and did a blonde, and I used to have the daisies all over me and stuff. I just really resonated with her personality and how she was so out there and bubbly and stuff. And it was just I felt wow, it's so cool to see someone on screen that feel she's the personification, is that the right word, of how I feel as a person, kind of thing. And I was just so enamored with her. And so anyway, she's my first special interest, and she did this movie. I watched all her movies, and she did the movie Never Been Kissed, which I own in a VHS and in really dating myself here, and in DVD. And she played Josie, Josie Grossi, which is my name also. So it's like my English name. The English version of Giuseppina is Josie. Giusi is like the nickname, short form of Giuseppina, which is my given name. But I'm known as Josie with my friends and family and stuff. So when she played that in that movie, I was like, oh my god, it's meant to be. This playing and like a nerd named Josie who loves chocolate. It's meant to be. So she talks about the Adelie penguins. I'm sorry, I'm all over the place because I'm tired and I'm like no spoons. So I'm just gonna ramble. So you're gonna get a lot of those types of videos right now, and I apologize. So she talks about the Adelie penguins and how when they find that one person, and you know, and so I always like thought about love. Like when I thought about love, I never thought of it as in the Disney princess, that there was going to be this perfect person that was going to save me and all this whatever whatever. I never thought of love that way. When I thought of love, my idea of love was when I thought about my penguin and my match. My idea of that was somebody who matched me, who saw me, who could see me, and for someone who obviously was raised and lived my whole life as an undiagnosed autistic person, like what I didn't realize then was that, you know, how I was different and all these things. Like nobody really saw that part of me and didn't see it as like a strength or something like that. And neurotypical people often just look at you as like weird or quirky, and they sometimes want to monopolize on that, especially when, because you know, autistic people tend to be like revolutionary, so I would be like very out there with my style, and I'd be the first one to like do things and be certain ways, and so they would often like take those ideas and whatever and run with it, and it would be cool when they do it, but when I do it, I'm just the weird dorky quirky girl or something. And so to have someone who recognizes like these strengths in you and sees you and, you know, adores that and really can meet you at that like level, to have that same like energetic blueprint as you and stuff like that. When I thought of a match, whoever would be my penguin, I thought of that. I thought of that. I didn't think of it as like some romantic person's gonna like sweep me off my feet and save me and all that stuff. Not at all. Like for me, my match was someone who could see me and love me and who can be that type of person, and that we can connect in that way that feels like at a deep soul level kind of thing. And all the rest would be not insensitive. Not that it wouldn't matter. It just was irrelevant. Like the things that people really look at when they think of like their match. I want them to be this, 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 and it's like none of those things like honestly matter in the grand scheme of things. Like, so she talked about the penguins then, and I don't know if you've watched Atypical. It's a series on Netflix, and Sam on there, he would always go and see the penguins at the aquarium or whatever it is, and he talks about that. And there's one moment, and I remember watching that, and I was like, this is like just over a year ago, actually. It was before I met my partner, and I remember like seeing that scene, and he's like, penguins mate for life, and he like talks about it, and then he's like, penguins are better than humans. And it's like, yeah, it's like so sweet when you think about things. I mean, don't get me wrong, like I know that there's some people that are just not monogamous and that they're not meant to be or they don't want to be, and that's totally fine. But some of us, we have that like very like, I just want one person for always kind of thing. And unfortunately, like that wasn't something I ever had before. And it was in the past, like I might have been with people, like long-term relationships that I've had two like long-term relationships, and then also, you know, the idea of like thinking that somebody else was my person for like the longest time, and then realizing that definitely not. Halo. You know, when you meet someone who is actually your person, you realize how and why it didn't work out with those other people. And so this whole point of this video is to talk about how I got to this point of finding my penguin on World Penguin Day. I'm talking about how I found my penguin. And thanks for staying here with me if you're here still. So I'm a hypnotherapist, and I'm a holistic practitioner, and I talk about healing and stuff like that. And, the thing that sparked my healing journey is, it was me going no contact with my abusive ex. And then it was one thing after another that I just really started to seek out the patterns in me that were, you know, drawn to those types that, really, like, what patterns in me were allowing me to either be drawn to that, to allow those things. And it didn't help, like, learning later on, much later, which was like in the last year or so, that autistic people tend to be more high. There's more percentage of us being manipulated or abused by other people, because of how our brains work, how our delayed processing, and how our social cue, our ability to interpret social cues and various other things, and how that makes us targets of people who maybe aren't the best people for us. And we end up getting snagged by these people. And we can stay for a very, very, very long time, too long, with these people in our lives, unfortunately, because we're not good at leaving when we're in these situations. And truth be told, I probably would have stayed forever with or not forever, but for a much longer time with my exes if they weren't the ones, like, because they were like very narcissistic. They were kind of the ones who would just, like, especially my last narcissistic, oh my gosh, would just constantly like discard me and like ghost me, and then come around again and stuff like that over and over again. And so, but in situations like that, I find that it's very difficult for us to not say no, but just to, like, I don't know if it's our empathy or just how easily conned we are sometimes. Like, I don't know. Like, honestly, it could be like, I think it's just a combination of so many things that are happening. And so we often, unfortunately, are prey to these types of people, and we end up staying in relationships with these types of people far longer than we should have. Far longer than we should have. And it's such a shitty thing, and we miss out on these opportunities. So in my case, I had the fact that, okay, yes, that I'm autistic, but also I have programming that's there because, having a narcissistic parent and being drawn to those same size of people on top of that. And so what did I do to find my penguin? One of the things I did was I was doing healing work and changing my subconscious programming. And that was incredibly helpful because it helped me to start to say no to what I wanted, what I didn't want. It also helped me to place boundaries and tell me, helped me to decide what I didn't want and what was like not okay and things like that. And it helped me to be very clear about that, vocalize my needs, express my boundaries, place that line in the sand kind of thing. And just a lot of saying no to what I didn't want. So that was like one huge part of that equation. And then the second part of that is showing up as myself. Learning that I was autistic was kind of like that missing piece of the puzzle for me. And it allowed me to start to be truly who I was. And it allowed me to show up as who I was, and that I didn't have to try to be different to attract someone else and have to pretend to be a different version of many things so that somebody would like me or choose me or any of those things. I could just be myself, which is very weird. And it's like, and quirky, but also very like lovely. And I have like, as I can be from here to here, but there is a naivety and like softness about me that exists, that most people don't see that part of me. And a lot of times these people who've gotten close to me, who preyed on like people like me, they would take advantage of that and they would harm me in the most awful types of ways. And is that a proper sentence? I don't know. And so one of the things that was really important for me was to start showing up for myself, and also to date someone who was also neurodivergent. And so that's what I did. Once I learned that, I realized that that was the missing piece for me. So yes, doing all that work was very important to me, because if I didn't do that work, then I wouldn't have been on the path that on right now. I wouldn't have said no and continued to say no to things I didn't want. I would have had programming still pulling me to these like bad boy type people. So that was incredibly important, I just want to say. And then that second part was to now start showing up as who I was, and allowing those type of people now to come to my life, since I had worked on changing my programming. And that's what happened. And so how did I find my penguin? By doing the work, the healing work, and then by being myself, being that quirky, dorky penguin, or whatever you want to call it. And it allowed me to not only be able to see and recognize that in someone else, but when that they were finally here, it allowed me to let them in, to allow them to love me, and to allow myself to be vulnerable with them and things like that. And so, yeah, it was such a process. It wasn't like I just met someone just because I was lucky. Like, I was single for a very long time. Everyone knows this, my friends. And it was a process. You can watch, like, my videos from the start. And I've been single for a long time. And I think that when I first started making these videos, when I first went no contact, maybe. I don't remember, because I've had my YouTube channel for a long time, but I didn't start actively doing it until like 1 year ago. But it was a process, and there was a lot of me saying no to what I didn't want. A lot of me walking away from what I didn't want. A lot. It involved me having to cut off like connections that I thought were for me, and I knew like I had to let go of that. If I wanted to let love into my life, I had to sever that connection. Otherwise, I would never like look for love in something else, because I would just be constantly tied to those things that were not for me. And so here I am now, sipping jasmine tea and following the path towards a life that I want, and with this honestly like the most lovely human ever. He's just so lovely. Like, he really, really is so thoughtful and kind and all of these beautiful things. And I, it's nice to see like someone mirror like the good qualities about you, because oftentimes when we see good qualities, we think we see good qualities in people. It's usually just a mirror of what we are. But it's nice to like have someone mirror something back to me that is actually those things, and who shows up for me, and all these other things, and is just like a decent, lovely human being. And so silly, and weird, just like me. Maybe more. And yeah, so it's World Penguin Day, and it's really late, and I'm tired, and this is my video that I'm uploading for the weekend. So when you see this, it'll be Saturday. And so that's my little backstory of how I met my penguin, and how you too can meet your penguin by following those steps. And don't give up like your hope, because I can find my penguin, and I'm in my 40s, and so if I can find my penguin now, then you know, it's never going to be like too late for you to find your penguin. I hear shouting upstairs. I don't know what's happening. Landlord's probably a hockey game or something. You know, making my videos much more candid. This is because I'm unmasking and I'm trying to, like, I feel like maybe before I was trying to make my videos more professional and like, hi, whatever, but I realized like I just don't have the energy to show up that way and I don't want to. So you're getting these more candid videos of me because that's just the way it's gonna go. But I just wanted to say, like, I appreciate, like, I do appreciate, like, that everyone's, like, happy and stuff like that. But someone made a comment today on one of my posts about how, like, oh, I like that you're happy now. And it's like, but I was happy before, like, me doing these things and succeeding and doing, you know, going after the things I want in my life, doing the work. Like, remember that I've been doing all these things for myself all along. I wasn't doing them for anyone else. And even now, as I continue to grow and heal and do the things that I want, like, I'm still doing them for me. And yes, I'm doing things for us as a partnership and stuff like that. But one of the things that's really important when I said about the Disney prince idea is that you can't look for someone to heal you or to save you. You can't look for your savior to be outside of you, or like that thing that's going to make you happy to be something external. You have to be happy regardless of that. And so I still go towards the things that I want and still try to do the things that I want to do in my life. I still have my friends and my plans and I do what I can. Like right now, I am not able to do a lot of things I want to do. Like writing is one of the big things. And it's not because of my relationship, it's because of my job. If anything, it's my job that's taking up all my time, which is very sad at the moment, but it won't always be like that. But yeah, he doesn't keep me from any of those things. He encourages all of those things. He supports me and he's a fantastic because of that, because that was not the case for like my last partners. Both of those partnerships, it was the opposite. They were very unsupportive, very unsupportive when it came to like doing things for myself, and would put me down a lot because of it. And they would just be really mean and put me down when I tried to do things for myself, or if I was succeeding, especially, and make it look like I was like a terrible person. And anyways, so if you're in that situation where you feel like you can't find love, the best way, and I know it sounds cliche, is to find love in yourself. You have to find love in yourself, because if you don't feel like you are deserving of love, and if you don't feel like that, you know, you can't give yourself the love, then you won't ever be in a position to receive that type of love. And the reason they say that is because oftentimes we, even if love comes our way, when we don't feel good enough to receive love and things like that, what ends up happening is that there's usually two things. We either tolerate the people who are less than and stay with those people for the longest time who don't make us happy, or the opposite is true. The opposite thing happens where we meet someone wonderful and then we sabotage that. We sabotage it. There has to be a game upstairs because my landlord is like yelling like a lunatic right now. But if you meet someone who's wonderful, the likelihood of you sabotaging that because of your unworthiness wound, subconscious programming that tells you that you're not lovable and you're not worth it and all these things, you'll likely sabotage a connection like that, unfortunately. Which I've talked about before in a lot of my hypnotherapy videos, where when I did meet in the past really nice guys, I used to like not find them attractive, or, you know, I would just like find something wrong with them or reject them and all these different things. And that's your subconscious programming that's acting up when that happens. So yeah, that's my story. This is a very long video to talk about my World Penguin Day and my partner. But yeah, Halo. But honestly, we're coming up to a year soon, and there's gonna be big changes, and I'm very excited. And he's wonderful, and I know that he watches some of my videos sometimes. So if you're watching, I love you. I don't know if he watches. He sometimes does. He tells me, and he'll like, I watched my baby's video. I'm like, okay. I still get like dorky and shy about it when he watches stuff. I don't care when anyone else watches it, but then when I know he watches it, I feel like, oh my gosh. Halo. Are you getting shy too? I'm sorry. I totally look like a dirt squirrel right now. And I came home and just threw on sweats and a top, and I made dinner and did laundry, and now I plopped in front of my camera with my jasmine tea to record a video because I'm not going to be home this weekend. But I'm trying to come up with my giveaway for 500, which I'll probably reach hopefully in the next week. I only need 3 more followers, so like and subscribe. But I'm going to do a giveaway. And I think in the other video, most people were interested in a hypnotherapy session. So I think that I will do a hypnotherapy session. However, I'm trying to think of what that giveaway will be, what that hypnotherapy session will look like. So, yeah. Also, next week is the Calm Collective. Don't forget, happening on May 2nd. I don't have my calendar here. Let me just check here. Give me a second. Where's my little thingy here? Will this let me click on here? Yes, perfect. May 2nd, Friday, May 2nd is the next Calm Collective. If you haven't been yet, you should definitely come. It is a group hypnotherapy, which I obviously lead, and it is centered around being stable and rooted in safety and calm energy to allow your subconscious to create programming to make you feel more stable and grounded, peaceful, and things like that. Especially in today's climate, it is such a soothing experience. It is so relaxing and it is so lovely. And it is a pay what you can event because I realize that not everyone can, really fork over that kind of money right now. I normally like group hypnotherapies are usually like about $25 to attend, but honestly, suggested donation is as little as $10, but you don't even have to pay that much. You can pay as little as like $2 Canadian just to attend because I don't want if people just don't have the funds and you really want to participate and take advantage of that. Why did all the lights go out? I don't know what's happening. I think my light just burned out. That was creepy. Okay. So, yeah. So if you want to attend the Calm Collective, the information is on the bottom there. And without making this video go to 30 minutes, which it probably will, it's happening next Friday, March 2nd at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This happens the first Friday of every month. And it is a beautiful experience. It's online. And it's 1 hour of beautiful, calming, and relaxing hypnotherapy. And you should definitely check it out. You should definitely come and attend because you will definitely enjoy it. So go check out the comments, my little description box for more information on it. Like and subscribe if you can, and then stay tuned for the next video, which I have to reach 500. Once I reach 500, I will put the contest for the giveaway for probably most likely the hypnotherapy because I asked people to maybe I'll do a poll on my thing to see if people would vote if they prefer the tarot guidance reading. It's a very extensive tarot guidance reading. Honestly, it's like one of the best things. I just did one with a client the other night and they're lovely. I do a full in-depth reading and a guidance to see like where you are in your life and I see like what's going on, what's blocking you, what's coming up and stuff like that. And we do like a talk about the guidance of the themes that are in your life at that moment and stuff like that. It's really incredible. And that price is like $100 normally, but that might be my giveaway or the hypnotherapy. I haven't decided. I might do a poll to ask people what they prefer. People have said hypnotherapy in the comments, so we'll see. But that's my story about how I met my penguin. And he feels the same way. And that's it. So happy World Penguin Day to all the little penguins out there that love each other, and to the real cutie penguins out there that I absolutely love and that are adorable, and to my penguin, who I love the most. He is the best. Anyways, I'll talk to you soon and hope you have an awesome day and take care of yourself.